So you've done a Bachelor of Psychology, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my uncle works at McKillop Family Services. I can see if there's a job for you there if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Did you know that 70% of jobs are never advertised? Many employers ask their staff to find future staff from their own networks. Employers recognise how effective networking is in finding suitable employees. Networking is an essential part of job searching and involves a purposeful effort to talk to people about your job search. By networking, you are building up a group of people who know you, your career interests, and the sorts of jobs you might be interested in. Family, friends, and people you meet through study, sport, clubs, community, religious groups, or professional associations may be in a position to tell you about suitable vacancies or connect you with people in the workplace. There are a few steps you can take to network with others. Step 1 is to identify your current networks. Your network already includes many people, such as friends, family, work colleagues, people you have met through professional associations, VU peers and teachers, contacts through sport and leisure, and those you know through community involvements. Make a list of people you are connected with. Even if they don't have a direct link into the type of industry or work you are seeking, they may know someone else who does. Step 2 is to develop a resume. You need to have an updated and well-presented resume that markets your skills effectively. When networking, you may need to produce a resume immediately. See our online resume tutorial and submit your resume for review by one of our careers educators. Step 3 is to keep a record of any contacts you make. You can do that by collecting business cards and then recording information on a spreadsheet. When you follow up contacts by email, phone, or in person, you are indicating enthusiasm to find work, and you are also continuing to develop valuable networks. Step 4 is to implement strategies to develop further networks. Some strategies are to join a professional association, engaging in volunteer work or work experience, and interviewing someone you would like to work for or someone that is in your dream job. Here are some examples of students at VU who have successfully networked their way into employment.
My first job was, maintained through networking. I was actually in year 11 and I let my friends know who already had a job that I was also looking. And one of them actually got back to me when they were doing mass interviews at McDonald's at Melbourne Airport, saying that his bosses were currently looking for people. He called me up and asked, are you still looking for a job? I can put you down for an interview. I said, yes, please. And they called me up and said, look, are you good to come to an interview at this time? I went in, proper interview gear and CV and a resume, handed that in, and got the job about 2 weeks later. More recently, I do a degree in psychology, so I've been trying to get some more experience in counselling side of psychology, and one of my co-workers actually mentioned to me that she works for a counselling organisation, and she gave me a contact number, the person to talk to get information about also getting involved in this counselling organisation, and she basically was my link to it. So I called up, I asked for information, and they sent me an application form, handed that in, and I'm in basic training now for that job.
The job that I actually got through Network was my currently job that I have at the moment, and it is a part-time retail sales assistant in a boutique. I found out about the job because my friend at the time, she was currently working there, and she had advised me, because she knew that I didn't have a job at the time and I was looking for just a retail job part-time. She advised me about that there were some positions available there, because I was actually looking through career websites like Seek and My Career, but I couldn't actually find. I've applied for some, but that actual particular job wasn't advertised, and she told me, no, we've actually got positions there, you should come in. And so then a few days later, once I fixed up my resume, I went into the store, I asked for the manager, which it turned out that he actually knew me already because my friend had already given him a recommendation about me. I handed in my resume, and the process from then on was the standard. A few days later I got an interview, and then a few days later I heard from him and I got told that I got the job.
Well, originally, after finishing year 12, I needed a job, and my auntie was working at a nursing home, and she said there was a position opening in the kitchen, so I got that. And then while I was there, the manager asked me why I was working in the kitchen, and I said that I did want to do nursing, because back then I wanted to do nursing as a career, and she said that she would offer me a place as a trainee. I just had to sit an exam, and if I passed it, then she would offer me the position. I sat the exam, and as soon as I passed, she said, "Alright, you're on board."
Tell everyone your situation. Not every single person, but people who you think can actually are relevant and can help you out. So I'm doing a psychology degree, so if someone's asked me what do you do, I'll tell them, and if they happen to know someone who's in that field as well, or they're in that field, they'll let me know and say, oh yeah, I'm doing that as well, or I know so-and-so who does this, and then they'll do the same thing to that person and say, oh, I know somebody who's actually doing a psychology degree, would you like their contact details? And that's how I actually got my counselling organisation.
I would say that the best way, networking would be a really good idea, and the best way to do that is probably to tell as much people as you can, especially those that you do know working in the industry, because they can always put in a good word, even to do volunteer, because I know if my job, because I'm already in the industry and I'm doing human resources, I try to speak to human resource management and to see if I can do some volunteer work, and they let me go up there to head office and do some work there. Also networking, because a lot of the jobs that you aren't advertised, and I've realised that now, because when I applied for this job, I would have assumed that they advertised because they're quite a big name, but in fact they weren't. So I was really surprised about that. So it just shows it's not just these small companies, but big companies, just because they're not on Seek and that, they do have positions. So sometimes it's best to tell people, because if they're already in the industry, they'll know, or sometimes you go down the street and you'll see job positions available here.
So yeah, to go to the actual employer is a good idea. Better than to send them an email. I think in person is better. Try using the people that you do know and ask them, because you never know, you could find a job that way.